Okay, hi everyone. Hi everyone. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Um, we just opened up last week, or this week, we see who's coming back. But anyways, so we're going to do the Tai Chi Paradigm for Parkinson's today. We're going to go through the warm-ups, and if you've been following, hopefully you can pick up on some of the strategies. You know, one of the main things I like to work on is leg work and some of the postures when we get to that near the end of the class. But I do a lot of walking and pivoting and trying to get the body to get a little bit more supple, try to avoid some of that rigidity that sometimes happens with people with Parkinson's. And walking and turning directions. Those are, I think, some of the key points. So I have a lot of footwork drills that we do, and you know, they're fairly simple. It's just getting used to moving like that. So let's stand with our feet shoulder width. This is the circle, the hoop position, and we're going to turn the upper body just to kind of free it up a little. 2, 3. Just think of it as limbering up. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Now the next exercise is like this. Now if you're logging in, if you're using YouTube, that's actually one of the better formats to use because you can actually chat with Lucien. And if you have a question, if I'm moving too fast, you can actually ask a question, because if you engage like that, I have a better idea of, you know, what kind of questions you may have or what problems you might be having while you're watching this. Okay, so this is a side bend, and remember we talked about this, that your hip does protrude to the side. It's not just bending the head, your whole body shifts. So that allows you to have sort of a range of motion to that side, and range of motion to this side. So, you know, you're just building that flexibility into the movement. All right, next we're going to go up like this, and we're going to reach down, increasing the range of motion, relax the back of the legs, try to go as deep as you can without forcing it. Don't force any movement. Just kind of move through the different places. You don't hold them. You just kind of go through the motion. That's an inhalation, exhalation, and you breathe through the nose. You reach down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Center. I'm going to breathe in and breathe out. Okay, next. Hands on your waist. Circular movements. Gentle circles. So this is, you know, back in the day they had that hula hoop. It's the same motion, but we're not doing it as fast as that. And most of you probably said, well, I wasn't very good at hula hooping. It is a little tricky, so you're going to make a circle. Just think of the circle and just go around and around. And it's a horizontal. Just imagine this hoop just wrapping around like that. So that does work your lower back a little bit. You can feel the hips moving, and you're getting your weight over your feet and controlling that center. All right, good. Cross the hands. It's your forearms that are crossed. Hold the kneecaps. Circular movements. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and stop. Now we're going to switch the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, and stop. Okay, hands on your waist. Now we're going to work the neck. So we're going to turn the head. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Center. Bend. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3. Reverse directions. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, hands up. Inhale, remember, inhale through the nose and up on your toes. Inhale through your nose, up on your toes, and up on your toes, and down. Okay, shake that out. So then, once we get into that position, we spread the feet. Let's go a little bit wider. Okay, so we can turn like this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, and stop. Now we're going to pull the feet together, get the heels together like this, hands on the waist, and we're going to pivot on the balls of your feet. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So move one foot at a time, and that kind of controls each limb, because every time you move your feet, you actually have to control your weight. So when I move this foot, most of my weight is actually on this leg. If I bring it to here and I shift this, now my weight is on this side, I can move this and I bring it back. So while we do this to sway from side to side, you're really bringing your weight over that supporting foot, and then you can actually move that unweighted foot. So remember, you're always moving the unweighted foot. The unweighted foot is the one that's lighter. Doesn't have to be 100% off, as long as you can move it. And if you can't move it, that means you have a lot of weight on it, because you have to be able to take the weight off and for it to pivot. Just think of anything you try to move, you have to bring the weight off of it in order to shift it. A piece of furniture, you have to lift it a little bit to jostle it over, take some of the weight off, because all the weight is forcing into the ground. So when you're carrying your weight, your legs are carrying a load, which is your body weight, and it's going into the ground. So you're stuck there and you can't move. So how do you get the body shifted so you can move this leg? So that's really what happens when we walk. We have to shift the load off that weight, to taking the weight off that supporting leg, and we start to move that leg. So it's unweighting it. Unweighting is the term to take weight off. So that's really what we're learning. Now when we're here and I pivot like this, and I head in this direction, I'm doing the same thing. I'm shifting, shifting, and shifting. So the whole premise of our footwork is to learn to shift the weight, go forward and back, pivot and pivot. So we have a lot of pivoting to control the movement. So what is pivoting? It takes you in a direction. We're steering in the direction so we can go in a direction based on what we're turning toward. So if my head goes this way, then I would want to turn this foot in that direction, and then we're here. Or you can turn this foot and then go that direction. So this is more of a 90-degree turn. This is more of a 45-degree turn. So while my feet are both like this, when you're square like this and I turn this one out, that takes me in that direction. If my feet are spread like this, I can go on the ball of the foot. But if our feet are together like this, it can't go, so you have to pivot off the heel, and the heel, the toe, and the toe. Now, once I'm in a shoulder width stance, I can turn like this. I can turn like this. So this just sets you up in a direction. So the toes pointed in a direction will lead you in that direction. So the other option is if I just turn like this, just on the ball of the foot, if I sit back, then I'm actually going to do a 90-degree turn. So it doesn't matter which area of the foot you pivot, and it's something you have to get used to. Okay, now, when we're in this position, we want to loosen up the upper body. So let's get the shoulder girdle involved with the circular movements, the shoulder roll. And let's go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and stop. Okay, now we're going to do this. Swing the arms, press and release, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. And stop. Hands up, pull an inhale, exhale. Up on your toes, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, let's do a few circular movements like this. So we start off here. Go the other way. Okay, and then we're down here. Now let's go all the way down here. Bigger circle. 1, 2, 3. 1. Relax the shoulders. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, shake it out. Okay, now we're going to go back to this swing from side to side. We're going to bring it over to here. Shift over, bring this foot to here. So once we shift and bring it to here, we can take a step forward. Okay, we step to the side, move this foot next to it, and we take your step forward. The reason why you have to shift over and get this foot to here before you take the step is because if you shift over here and this foot's here and you take the step, you're going to be too wide in there. So your center is not going to be controlled. If you shift your weight over and you bring your foot right here, you take your step, then your center of mass, your body's mass, is more on this center line. And if you step through your center line, passing through here, you're going to be much more balanced. So that's what we're learning to do, especially when we do this. So when we do this, our feet are actually pretty close. It's about maybe 2 inches gap between your feet. And you're going to alternate the hands. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now let's go to the other side. Right, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Okay, good. Now we're going to go side to side. Bring the feet in, and then it goes out. Okay. We're going to go opposite. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, now let's go to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, shake it out. A few deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, now we're going to do the silk reeling exercise. So silk reeling is like pulling thread from a cocoon. So silk reeling is a continuity exercise, and we want to kind of spread the feet out and end up here. Then we go to here and hold the ball. Okay. Forward, turn, and back. Okay. Forward, turn, and back. Forward, turn, and back. So remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let me see if I can work it this way. Forward and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, okay, 3, and 4. Okay, we're going to go to the other side. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Any interaction, Lucien? Yeah, look at the mustache in the mirror. It kind of looks like Shamlang. Look like Shamlangs. It's kind of funny. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Is Jim on? Do you know if Jim is on? Oh. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's kind of smooth it all out. Smooth it out. Sit back and go forward. Sit back and go forward. Okay, next we're going to cross the arms and open and close. So here's your cross arm position. Spread the hands. The palms are facing the same direction. Just open and go. So this is everything that we're doing is kind of opening up your chest, lifting your torso, kind of take some of the tension out of your ribs, expand the back, and round it out. Just kind of get your body opening and closing. Okay, let's do the other side. Open. Open. Inhale. Exhale. exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, let's try this. Lifting up, this is a circular movement. It's preparation. Preparation is the beginning of the form. It's the starting movement, so you're preparing for the form. Circular movement, drop your elbow, press down. Drop your elbow, push down. Elbows and knees, so you can't really see my knees folding in the mirror unless you look really close, because the black pants doesn't allow you to see the knees actually folding. But if I did a side view, you can actually see the knees folding. You see the knees are folding, and then the elbows are straightening with the knees. Okay, so we see that movement. Okay, now we're going to go to a lower hoop position. I'm going to turn around. Lower hoop position is like this. Breathe through your nose, tongue touching the roof of your mouth. Okay, from here we move to shoulder height. This is still a circle. Sometimes I call it the hoop position. Now we go to the elbow down. So this is triangle. Triangular position. Elbows in versus elbows out, elbows in. Okay? Holding this small ball. Okay, now we lower, palms down. Okay, lift the spine, straighten the elbows, straighten the knees, chin tucked in slightly. Okay, extend. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, now we're going to go out into this position, and this is diagonal flying. So I'm going to sit back. One. Remember, diagonal, it's working on the diagonal, and flying, it's like you're floating, moving up. So you're flying diagonally. Okay, so that's diagonal flying. We have one on each side, so let's do one on this side. All we're doing is spreading the hands. It's called splitting. So you split it open by spreading the palms of your hands, but it also spreads because we're going forward. So between this and this is the cross and the separate. So that's really diagonal flying. Okay, next we're going to do cloud hands. I'm going to do it this way with the mirror. Okay, so what this is that exercise that we did earlier like this. And when I do this, that's one side. When I do this, there's the other side. When I put them together, it looks like this. So this is called cloud hands. And we shift over, we get the weight over here, we shift over just to get a feeling of the body swaying to this side and then to this side. Okay, so that's cloud hands. Next we have the upper hoop. It's called carry tiger to the mountain. So I like to do these facing you because the hands are working together. So this isn't a difficult one for mirror image because all you do is see these two hands going up, and then they cross, and then they back down. So this is pretty direct. When your arms are working in pairs, they're much easier to track. So that's really called carry tiger to the mountain. There's upper hoop, cross arms, and lower hoop. So here's your lower hoop, your middle hoop, your upper hoop, and you turn it out. Drop your elbows, and they're going to merge here. Spread it out, and we open up to here. So even this is a spreading of the hands. So going outward. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Now the infinity sign is really like a conductor. You're just waving your hands in and out, relaxing the shoulder. 1, 2, 3. So there's your figure 8. 1, 2, 3. Combine. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, so that's divert and block in the form. It's divert and block, and you form the fist. You form the fist and punch. So here we go. 2 hands working together makes it simple to follow and track. Okay, so this is called forming the fist, creating a grip. A grip is holding your hands firm and you're striking with these knuckles. So that's forming the fist, and then we're going to strum the lute, and the elbows are like this. You see the 45 line? You see the 45 line? And you make a circle, and you make a circle. Okay, if I turn in this direction, I make a circle, I make a circle. Okay, horizontal, I'm on the right side, horizontal. Okay, roll back and push. So that's 4 movements is grasp the sparrow's tail. Last class we went over the geometry of position where we went from triangles to circles to squares, slanting to the waist, pushing to the shoulders parallel like this, okay? So your hands are like this, parallel, right? There's 1, the triangle, the circle, down, and push. There's your square. Here's your down, triangle. So triangles are like this. Palms. Okay, so you have your palm position for pushing. You have your triangle for center line. And you have horizontal, hoop, triangle again, center line, up and down, rounding out, square, square. So those are alignment of your skeletal structure to create the different postures that we have. So grasp the sparrow's tail is made up of those movements. So how do we do that? We're standing like this. Let's move this foot forward. Find your center. So the right hand's on top, horizontal, back, and forward. Hook your wrists. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hook your wrists. Let's go into single whip. 1, 2. So single whip is from here to here, and you draw across single whip. Now we hold the ball. Okay, so holding the ball is the palm in and across. And across. If you would reverse the ball, it would be like this, but no, we're going to keep it on this side. 1, 2. So you see this hand went low, this hand went level to shoulder height. Looks like holding the ball, pivot, diagonal flying. Shift, step up, and raise the hand. Bend from the waist, stork flaps wings. Okay. So you see how we're building that. We did the grass the sparrow's tail. We have the vertical strum the lute. Then we kind of merge some of the postures together. Like in single whip, we have hold the ball, which is really this. You see it in the Yang style, just hold the ball. We see this is the Yang style, pat the horse's mane. This is pat the horse's mane in the Wu style. So just slight modifications of the position, because every position is really a joint position. So that's what muscle memory is. Muscle memory is memorizing a position, and your musculature actually creates that. It's part of your proprioception. How much tension, how much speed, all of that stuff is triggered by what your understanding is. So the information that we're taking in now is really trying to figure out, how to do these movements. So we start off here, and we do the preparation. That's the circular movement that we did here. That's beginning. Now, if I adjust my foot and step up, that will bring me to the right side. I have the right side grasp the sparrow's tail. So what is right side grasp? It's made up of 4 movements. Vertical to horizontal, palms down. And see this triangle. See the little triangle that's here? That's from A, B, and C. There's your triangle. There's one on this side. You come across to here, and that comes back to center. Your hands are like this. 1, 2, 3. Hook your wrists. Completely square. Let's turn to the corner. Open the stance. Single whip. Okay, now this side's going in. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that's hold the ball. If I pivot this foot and set up the slant, that's diagonal flying. And then if I shift and step up again, I'm back to neutral. I'm back to horizontal. Shoulder width. Raise the hand. Then I bend from the waist and I do the stork flaps wing position. So what's the stork flaps wings position is here. It's got carry tiger to the mountain, but then this is here, stork flaps wings as a position, and then here's a cross hand position, and here's the lower hoop position. So how we lift really determines the functional side of it. So how we lift is a lifting of the body, and it goes straight up, okay, and you lift. And it stops about forehead height for stork flaps wings. So let's review that again now. We're going to start here shoulder width, and we're going to do a preparation movement. Now this is stepping up now on my left side, but adjusting my right. Now I'm here. Here's left side. Here's horizontal. Here's your press. Okay. Now I'm going to toe out like this. That's called toeing out. And I have a little shift of weight. So I'm going to shift, check, step, now here, right side. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Okay. Does everybody have that? 1, 2, 3. Grasp the sparrow's tail. I'm in a forward position, a back position, and a forward position. So that grasp the sparrow's tail actually happens over there. So if I start the form off and I go to my left side to do the first 2 movements, and I make a transition by turning the corner and flipping these elbows. I'm here. Now I'm going to go right side forward, right hand up, grasp the sparrow's tail, and then once I get that, I hook my wrist, and then I have to fix this wire. Open to single whip. We're here. So I started here. I turned that way, did the grasp the sparrow's tail, then I start to turn back. Okay. So I hope that's not too complicated for you here. But let's start again. So preparation, step up. Here's neutral. Here's press. That's horizontal. Sit back and turn the corner. Here's flipping the hands, beginning style. Move the foot in and out. And I combine the hands like this. Now this is like this press. Palms down. You're going to form a triangle. 1, A, B, and C. Hook your wrist, drop your elbow. Now pivot back toward the front. I mean, we've worked these pivots for a while now, so hopefully you can understand that this is the whole strategy of getting into positions by adjusting our feet, because that's lower body. These are the hand movements. This is upper body. This is bending, combining, and then relaxing and settling. Then we turn this way. Okay, so when we turn this way, we have a series of movements called brush knee. So looking at this, I'm just going to bring it over to here. I go like this, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to do it again. 1, 2, 3. And back. Now we go forward. Now this is my left side now. I twist out, step up, 1, 2, 3. Now we go back again. I finish that one. This goes horizontal. I twist out like this. I step through, and I brush down and push. So that's 4. Now I'm in the neutral position. If I turn to my right, and I turn the palm up, back to center, I can lean forward, and I go to a shoulder width stance to close the door. Okay, so that's a lot of sequence, but that's a sample of what we should be doing, because we have to build a memory bank of these postures, but trying to identify them is a bit of a challenge. We have preparation, the right and left side of the movements. So that's vertical. Vertical meaning elbow down. Horizontal meaning elbow out. Okay, both sides have horizontal elbows. Okay, next we have a slant. See the diagonal line here and the diagonal line here. So on the slant, if my hands were like this and I cross, on the slant would be that. But if I open my legs, that would be diagonal flying. Now, if I shift over and I move this foot up, then I find this side. Okay. Now, if I go to the other side, I shift over, and then I have this side. So there's that relationship. The front foot, fingertips up. Look in the mirror, front foot, fingertips up. Front foot, fingertips up. Feet parallel and square. Palms here. Relax the knees. Okay? Go to here. Next position, vertical left. Horizontal on the left side. Turn, flip, draw down, move this foot in, and then move out, move the center, and we go forward. Separate the hands. There's your triangle. Here's your triangle, and the hand ends up like this. Hook your wrist, now turn. Now you notice I'm turning on the heel, taking me into that corner. I checked my weight, and I moved it out. As I move my foot out, open, single whip, hold the ball, shift the weight, drop the shoulder, slant diagonally. Shift the weight, move in, move out. Ready here. I'm going to press. I'm going to relax my shoulders. Step out, shoulder width, raise the hand. Bend from the waist. That's why we stretch. Stork flaps wings. And now we're going to just go to this 2-hand position, upper hoop position. 2 hands like this. And then if I turn and I relax my elbows, I'm already here. And I would have brush knee 4 times. So the brush knee turns out like this, and we push. You sit back, turn, you brush knee and push. And we just did this earlier. I'm going to do another one on the left. Now, if you have a little trouble tracking that, maybe it would be better if I'm on this side using the mirror. Now I got to get back to the right side position, so I have to turn out, step up, turn to the right, and brush knee. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing, inhale, exhale. Okay, we're going to, that's Tai Chi form and posture, so we're going to move on from there. You can always go to YouTube, and it's on there. It's going to be archived, and you can follow that as often as you want throughout the rest of the week. Or they're always going to be there as long as you log in. So you go to YouTube, subscribe, and you can have access to all of this content, doing it over and over again. And because we're creatures of habit, you have to do it more frequently than twice a week if you have time. Or once you do it more often and you start to improve doing those drills, you're going to be much more motivated, because once that happens, you realize you can learn this. You just have to put a little effort into it and have an open mind about, it's so different from anything else that you might be doing that's considered an exercise. People think exercise is, grab a couple of barbells and do this and whatever you want to do with them, hold them out and do this, that's exercise. But it actually doesn't develop a great coordination or motor skill. In fact, sometimes you're holding those weights, it creates a lot of tension. And if you're just doing this, what do you think this is doing? It's getting stiff. You're just straight arming it. You don't want to straight arm. When we push out, we're not really stiffening. We're letting it go in a direction. Stiff arming it. What's stiff arming? Think of opening a door. And if you stiff arm the door, you just run into the door with your elbow locked, and the door doesn't move. You injure your elbow or you injure your shoulder. That happens in car accidents. It happens in pushing on something that doesn't move. That's a response to your body that sends shock waves through your joints because they're locked and they're stiff. So we want to just move and stay relaxed. So I'm going to go back into the footwork stuff that we've been doing. So this is your circle. What direction is that? It's clockwise. What direction is this? Counterclockwise. Anti-clockwise. So one goes this way and one goes this way. Okay. So when we walk forward, remember I said we have to have our feet together like this. 1, 2, 3. Go backwards. 1, 2, 3. But we don't want to be rigid up on top, so we have to relax. Unless you're holding a package or holding something, then you can just move your legs. But if you're not holding something, including tension, let it go. You have to move your arms. So I go forward, 1, 2, 3, and then backwards, 1, 2, 3, and go forward, 1, 2, 3. So initiate the movement backwards on the left. Initiate the right, the left, and right. The left, the right, and the left. So that's forward and backward. You can do this just walking forward, and we go backwards, 2, 3, right, 2, 3, left, 2, 3. So that's forward. Now you can do the circle. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to go clockwise, counterclockwise on the backstroke. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. That's clockwise, counterclockwise. Okay, so that's a forward-backward drill with 2 different hand movements. One's like this, and one's like this. Okay, so those are fairly simple. Walking 3 steps forward, begin with your right, left, right, left, right, left. So just kind of recap those 2 exercises. I'm going to go like this. Right, left, right. Left, right, left. Right, left, right. Left, right, left. So you have to do that till you build some coordination. The hands are going to go like this now, clockwise, right? 1, 2, 3, that's forward. 1, 2, 3, that's forward. 1, 2, 3, this is clockwise, counterclockwise. Okay, so the last class I did a kind of a diamond step. So if I'm a diamond, I'm going to walk to this corner, okay, and I can actually turn this way, but I'm going to turn backwards. 1, 2, 3. Forward is right, left, right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now my hands are pretty stiff. 1, 2, 3. That's kind of just taking me in a direction, holding the box, right? Okay, but now I'm going to make the circle. So last time I did the circles, we're going to only do clockwise circles. Clockwise is this way, and I'm going to walk that way and then go backwards with the left, left, and then the forward, left, right, keeping the same circle, because it'll get too confusing if you do both. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that was a little quick. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Now watch. It goes 1, 2, 3. Stop here. Now when I turn, keep your hands going like that. Keep tracking in that direction. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So when I turn, that's kind of elongating. 1, 2, 3. Now you see, turn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea. Now you're moving around in space, so practice makes perfect, and the more you do something, the better you get at it. So the thing is, if you're having some trouble walking, or you're having some trouble, figuring out what do I do when I'm ready to take a step, and you maybe freeze for a little bit, just kind of practice this drill to see if you're conscious of your movement as where it's going. So if we go forward like this, and then we get to this position, I want to turn, depending on right or left, my feet can actually turn in this direction, or my foot can turn in this direction. That goes back to the very beginning of class when I was talking about moving the unweighted leg. Now, when we take steps, we obviously have to pick the foot up and change directions. But when you're changing directions without pivoting, it might be a little challenging, but then you can always pivot. 1, 2, 3, and then you pivot. 1, 2, 3, pivot. 1, 2, 3, and slide. But with the diamond step, it's a little bit simpler not to pivot because you're moving so fast. But if you're just stuck in this position, then the pivoting first and then take you in a direction. 1, okay, that was 1, 2, 3. Now we stop here, and I kick out like this, and then we would begin. So that's with a pivot and not a step, actually would confuse your footwork, because when we pivot, we have to initiate off that back leg. So then you would do this. By pivot, you have to initiate. So the pivot and initiating of that same side has to be done as 1, 2, rather than just 1, 2, 3. You'd be in 1, 2, 3, 4. So that might confuse you a little. But you can see that if you practice these simple drills, walking forward, walking backwards, then walking forward and backward in a diamond step, you actually end up where you started. So if I took 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, and I walked here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm actually back to where I started from, because it's just like a baseball diamond. You're just walking that diamond, going to first, second, third, and home as base. So you just have to do it as a drill to exercise your legs to get your body moving. It's a motor skill, and a motor skill, you have to program that into your body. But the thing is, pay attention. Right, left, right. Right, left, right. That's forward, backwards. Left, right, left. Left, right, left. Left, right, left. So you just recite that to yourself, and eventually, you'll get that programmed into your system, and then pay attention to it. Always pay attention to where you're going, because that's a level of consciousness that you need, and the mindfulness of what you're doing, because sometimes the subconscious behavior doesn't work so well, so you have to kind of use the cognitive side of thinking to get that to happen. You have to use that mindfulness, the level of consciousness as being at the moment. So you have to always be aware, because you could lose your place. So that's something that could happen. But then the hesitation could be rigidity, could be your body's in a little stressed position. So learn to relax, learn to move, learn to free up the body a little bit. Movement is the key to avoiding the conflict of rigidity and stiffness. So learn to move better, learn to loosen up. Loosen up. That's really important, to loosen up. Tension is, sometimes it's created by stress. So to avoid that stress position, which is tension, move. Learn to move and do that. So anyways, Lucien, it's about almost there?
This class is 11:15 to 12:15. It's 12:06.
12:06. So, if you have any questions, why do we do these drills? Like I said, it's to bring in a level of consciousness and mindfulness, and meditation is one of those things that they talk about, consciousness and mindfulness and in the moment. So we have to be always in the moment, always knowing that you have to pay attention to the body and what it's supposed to be doing. Because if you just go into a daze, then you're going to be confused. Try to keep your mind alert and try to work through these different exercises to keep your body familiar. The more you do it, the more familiar you are, and the better you'll get. Anything that you do, over and over again, you'll get better at. And if walking is a problem, or even maybe some people have some of the trembling and so forth. So you try to see if you can control some of that by finding positions. Finding positions. Like this is a hoop. It's a circle. But you have an angular position here, and it creates a shape. And if you put a little bit of tension there, that creates some stillness. So maybe that could help. If you're holding a glass, some people have low trouble with shaking, and maybe if it's filled with a liquid, you might spill it. So, maybe compromise, don't fill the glass as high, because if it's on the top, anybody will spill it if you move a little bit. So you hold it, and then if you put a little tension in the arm by flexing your wrists, that could create some stability in that position, because it has a little bit of tension. Because I notice sometimes when the hands are down, there seems to be some bit of trembling for some people. Everyone's a little different. When the hand's up, you might start doing this. So try to control that by your shoulder, your elbow, and your wrist. Because don't try to stop it here. Try to stop it in here. So see if you can avoid some of the trauma or the traumatic syndrome that's happening there when you're trembling. So try to find a position that would work, because everything that we're doing is kind of manipulating our skeleton to find out what's happening. Why is it responding like that? And see if you can figure out some of those things. Even writing. I know some people have some writing problems, because the flow of it isn't there. So learn to relax, because if you're rigid, like a child learning how to use a pencil, it doesn't have, fluidity because it might be learning how to do block letters, and the only thing it can do is straight lines. So you have to relax to create circles. So forming the fist, all of these things are creating all these little manipulations that you might need in your hands to do certain things. So these are just tips and advice, so you pay attention, because one of the things is that we don't really understand a lot of things that we do in movement because we just take it for granted that we've learned them and we do them. But when you start to lose a little bit of that ability, then you don't know how to figure out why it's not working right. So you go down to really basic things that we do, like in our drills and moving our hands, then we start to move our limbs. We start to hold positions. So we get control of movement and stillness. So on that note, maybe you can follow this, re-listening to some of this might be helpful. And see you next time. You can follow us all week. YouTube, subscribe, share with your friends. Next week we'll have it on Tuesday and Thursday again. So just do it as much as you want or as much as you can throughout the week. Don't do the whole session if it's too long. Just do what you can. All right, I'll see you next time.